We had a flurry of new polls come out last week that showed us that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s independent presidential bid is actually sucking away more voters from Donald Trump than it is from President Biden. And I guess after his week in court last week, Donald Trump finally looked at those polls and he immediately started to freak out. He then proceeded to freak out not just on Friday evening, but all through the weekend. Donald Trump was freaking out about RFK Jr. taking more votes away from him than Biden. And this comes, by the way, just like a couple weeks after Donald Trump said, hey, if I were a Democrat, I'd vote for the guy. But here is what Donald Trump put in a series of posts on just Friday evening. We'll get into the rest of the weekend in a minute. Friday evening, he says, a vote for Jr. would essentially be a wasted protest vote that could swing either way, but would only swing against the Democrats if Republicans knew the true story about him. I lived with RFK Jr. in New York and watched him convince Governor Cuomo to make environmental moves that were outright nasty. I'd even take Biden over Jr. because our country would last a year or two longer prior to collapse, but it would be dead either way. His views on vaccines are fake, as is everything else about his candidacy. Let the Democrats have RFK Jr. They deserve him. No thanks. I do agree with you actually about the vaccine thing, but you're freaking out. And what I love about this is that the same thing that happened with Bobby Kennedy is the same thing that happened with Donald Trump, right? Think about it. Back in 2016, this new thing came out called Donald Trump, the candidate. And, after a while, the Republican machine started to be like, okay, this guy can win. Let's hype it up. Let's build it up. So they created this monster. And now that monster has destroyed the Republican Party and completely taken it over. Now you fast forward 8 years, actually 7 years, because last year you had all of Donald Trump's friends worried that he wouldn't beat President Biden. So what if we create this thing, right? Trump was a monster that was created. What if we create our own monster to go after the Democrats, right? To take a chunk out of their votes. So Steve Bannon hyped him up. Roger Stone hyped up Bobby. They helped create this. Fox News helped hype him up. All of these Trump allies hyping up Bobby Kennedy Jr. And then suddenly that monster that the monster created is doing the same thing the original monster did. Like, oh, well, I'm just going to destroy your party. So I love it. This is such beautiful poetic justice for the Republican Party. But as I said, it didn't end there. Trump continued into the weekend, including on Sunday morning, where he posted this. I actually watched, first time in a long time, ratings challenged Bill Maher's really boring interview with RFK Jr. last night, only to find that Jr. is far more liberal than Maher, and in fact, far more liberal than anyone running as a Democrat, including Weston Stein. Yet despite this, he has no hope as a Democrat because they were able to use their typically fascist tactics of repression to throw him out of the party like a dog. Uh-oh, don't tell Kristi Noem that. Because he was taking primary votes away from the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. So now Jr.'s so-called independent, but he's not. He's a radical left lunatic, but trying to have it all ways. He said that no vaccine is safe and effective, and then said, I would never say that, I'm not anti-vaccine. Where did that come from? Maher defended the vaccine, which Jr. actually seemed to agree with. Wow. And then told him that his poll numbers have crashed. No Republican can vote for this guy. MAGA 2024. I will admit, and this is what Trump is pointing out, and it's a thing, you can see it out there, when Bobby kind of gets called on the whole vaccine issue, like, hey, you say you're not anti-vax, but you're clearly anti-vax, you can watch him waffle. He's never been good at it in that respect, on that particular part of the issue. But Bobby also uses a lot of right-wing talking points, right? He actually recently said that, you're not going to control gun violence by doing gun control. And that, of course, is a right-wing talking point. He even suggested that maybe we need to look into some of these Capitol riot prosecutions to see if there's political motivations. That's a right-wing talking point. It's also completely BS. So it's no wonder that Bobby is taking more Republican votes than Democratic votes. He's using right-wing talking points, not left-wing talking points. He is essentially running as somebody who's on the right. And so that's going to attract Republican voters. Trump's people helped hype him up in the early days. They hyped him up during the COVID vaccine stuff. And this is the logical end result. This was 100% predictable. I mean, we've been talking about this even before polls showed him taking more from Trump. We said that at the end of the day, when we get to November, he'll take more votes away from Trump. This was entirely predictable. But I guess Donald Trump's the only one who didn't see it coming. And now he's freaking the hell out. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.